The trial's verdict shocked many, as the jury found Sean Combs not guilty on all charges. The courtroom was tense, with unexpected testimonies and evidence shifts. This outcome leaves questions about the justice system's handling of celebrity cases and the future implications for Combs' career and public image. The trial of Sean Combs captivated the public, with media outlets and social platforms buzzing with speculation. The intense scrutiny highlighted society's fascination with celebrity scandals, especially when involving a mogul whose empire spans music, fashion, and business. The case's prominence underscored the gravity of the charges against him. The charges against Combs were severe, including sex trafficking, which could lead to decades in prison. Prosecutors claimed he used force, fraud, or coercion for commercial sex acts. Additionally, he faced 2 counts under the Mann Act for transporting individuals for prostitution and racketeering, alleging his empire facilitated these illegal activities. Inside the courtroom, witnesses delivered explosive testimonies detailing alleged incidents over years. Combs remained stoic, consulting his legal team. Security was tight, reflecting his celebrity status and the sensitive testimony. The judge enforced strict decorum, banning electronic devices and limiting media access to maintain order. Prosecutors presented a robust case showcasing electronic communications, travel records, and financial documents. Surveillance footage was pivotal, allegedly linking Combs to the crimes. Witnesses, including former associates, testified about transportation for prostitution, aiming to establish a systematic pattern of behavior over years rather than isolated incidents. The defense team, led by renowned attorneys, aggressively countered by discrediting witnesses and challenging the prosecution's narrative. They argued travel arrangements were legitimate business activities, not illicit. Emphasizing inconsistencies in testimonies, they suggested financial motivations. The defense portrayed Combs as a self-made businessman, highlighting his rise from humble beginnings to a successful entertainment empire. On July 2nd, the courtroom was electrified as Sean Combs was acquitted of the severe sex trafficking charges. The jury, after 14 hours of deliberation over 3 days, delivered a verdict that spared Combs from potentially decades-long imprisonment. The acquittal was met with audible gasps, and Combs visibly exhaled, relieved by the outcome. Despite being acquitted of sex trafficking charges, Combs was found guilty of transporting individuals for prostitution, violating the Mann Act. Each count could lead to 5 years in federal prison, totaling a possible 10-year sentence. This marks a significant legal setback for Combs, who consistently claimed innocence. The Mann Act, enacted in 1910, targets forced prostitution and white slavery. It prohibits transporting individuals across state lines for immoral purposes, notably prostitution. This century-old law has been pivotal in high-profile cases involving figures like Chuck Berry and Charlie Chaplin, reflecting its enduring impact on legal proceedings related to moral conduct. Legal experts highlight the jury's nuanced decision, indicating credible evidence for prostitution transportation but insufficient proof for trafficking, which demands evidence of force, fraud, or coercion. This outcome is typical in complex cases with high proof burdens, showing the jury's meticulous charge-by-charge evaluation rather than a blanket judgment on Combs' guilt. Combs received a standing ovation from fellow inmates upon returning to the Metropolitan Detention Center after his partial acquittal. This rare reception underscores his enduring celebrity status and suggests he may have formed connections with other detainees. Experts highlight the rarity of such events, emphasizing the unique dynamics of housing a high-profile figure in general population. At the Metropolitan Detention Center, Combs experiences life behind bars with unique challenges. His celebrity status necessitates heightened security and possible isolation for safety. Despite his wealth, he endures the same restrictions as other inmates, including limited phone calls, visitation, and access to personal items, underscoring the equalizing nature of incarceration. On October 3rd, Combs faces sentencing for 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. A pre-sentencing report will be prepared, analyzing his criminal history and personal background. Both prosecution and defense will submit memoranda, advocating for their desired sentencing outcomes. Federal sentencing guidelines will guide the judge, considering the offense, criminal history, and other factors. The defense may highlight Combs's charitable work and lack of prior convictions, while the prosecution could stress the offense's seriousness and victim impact. The judge's decision could range from probation to 10 years, with possible fines. Combs' conviction jeopardizes his extensive business empire, spanning music, fashion, media, and alcohol brands. Companies are distancing themselves, with Ciroc Vodka and De Leon Tequila facing uncertain futures. Revolt Television announced his board departure, and Sean John Clothing, once a billion-dollar brand, may encounter further challenges amid recent struggles. Combs' conviction casts a shadow over his legacy in the music industry. Once celebrated for launching Bad Boy Records and artists like the Notorious B.I.G., his achievements are now scrutinized. Industry insiders debate if his criminal conviction will overshadow his contributions, potentially altering his place in hip-hop history and American business culture. The music industry remains largely silent, with former collaborators avoiding comments on the verdict. Fans show mixed reactions, some disappointed, others defending Combs, while many express concern for alleged victims. Business partners swiftly distance themselves, suspending ties. Advocacy groups highlight the case to address broader exploitation issues in entertainment. Combs' case is pivotal in the Me Too movement within the music industry, highlighting a shift towards accountability. Unlike the film sector's swift actions, music has lagged. This conviction may herald increased scrutiny and legal repercussions for influential figures, marking a significant change in how misconduct is addressed in entertainment. During the pre-sentencing period, Combs remains in custody as probation officers prepare reports and legal teams ready their arguments. On October 3rd, the judge will weigh various factors to determine his sentence. Post-sentencing, appeals are expected, potentially prolonging the legal process. Additionally, Combs faces ongoing civil lawsuits alleging misconduct. The trial of Sean Combs highlights the dramatic decline of a once dominant figure in the music industry. His journey from a successful entrepreneur to facing potential imprisonment underscores critical themes of power, accountability, and justice. This case has sparked significant discourse on these issues within the entertainment sector, influencing future industry standards and practices.